Hey y'all, how's it going? All right, so we're continuing with the next part of the temporary orders, and here we go. Um, I'm not an attorney. This is not legal advice. Everything I say is for entertainment and educational purposes only. Only for informational use. I'm not liable for anything you do. This is just information I'm sharing. And here we go. So, yeah, I have here what is my trial position for the temporary orders. I tried my best to go through and clean it up, but if it's not so clean, then, whatever. Here we go. But I'm going to go ahead and play this. Let's see if it goes through.
This is the time step for resolution management conference on the petitioner's request for temporary orders. Both parties present. Petitioner self-represented, respondent accompanied by her attorney Richard Wintry and his legal assistant. So to prepare for today's hearing, I reread the request for the temporary orders, the response, the respondent's pre-hearing statement, and the child's interview. It looks like in the pre-hearing statement there's no agreement to summer parenting schedule as of now, but there's some agreement on limited communication. So, Mr. Quintero, why don't I start with you? You've laid out some pretty specific requests for summer parenting, week on, week off, limits on communication, and wanting to put in place some parameters for travel. Now that we have the child interview, and I know you had concerns of whether there was going to be any undue influence or coaching, but now that you've got the interview and you've heard from the respondent's position, do you want to start the dialogue to see if we can reach any agreement today?
Okay. So I'm not an attorney, so I gotta write stuff down.
That's okay. That's fine. If you've got notes, that's fine.
So my proposal, as you can see in what I laid out, is to prevent a repeat last summer's stress and uncertainty for Luce. I did review the interview. I'll accept it at face value for today, but it's a trial issue. She wasn't asked about summer throughout the entirety of it. What Luce doesn't like is conflict. I agree. I don't like conflict either. This is temporary orders, so that's what we can do. We can do temporary orders, have trial, and decide things later on. But the thing is, trial's at the end of May, and we won't be able to do summer things. So I'm asking for a temporary summer structure, reduces conflict, make things predictable and court-ordered. To not asking for anything new or experimental. So last summer, with Ms. Hadley's written approval that I did timely, correctly, for Luce to spend a week with me internationally and again several days the following month. The trips were safe, successful, and positive. I gave advance notice, shared location information, returned on time. What I'm asking is for you to take something that already worked, but make it predictable without having last-minute approvals and revocations by Ms. Hadley, because there was a lot of text messages leading up until before we left of Ms. Hadley saying, I don't think she should go. So the problem last summer wasn't the time itself, it was the uncertainty around it. Without a court order, last summer was marked with last-minute hesitation, excessive communication, and interference. You have the text messages and the calls during those trips, interrogating Luce, disrupting our time. A clear order eliminates the need for that. One exchange per week minimizes interaction if conflict occurs. Furthermore, current order requires written approval for travel. That provision itself created the conflict because the approval was being questioned at the last minute. A temporary order that includes pre-authorized travel on each parent's time is a source of conflict turned into a simple notice requirement. It reduces exchanges to once a week, removes the need for repeated negotiations. Fewer exchanges, fewer opportunities for conflict. It makes too much sense. I know. I want the court to know this wasn't rushed or reactive. On November 23rd, which was Exhibit 12 that you have, the respondent requested her own vacation time for summer of 2026. I responded in that same text exchange, proposing the week on, week off Wednesday summer schedule. You didn't need to be here. I also shared in advance my intent to travel with Luz to Texas, California, and Mexico during my weeks. There was no response in regards to that proposal. So I'm not here because this wasn't raised early, but because it wasn't addressed at all. A temporary order replaces that uncertainty with clarity. And in the interview, Luz said that she does want more time with me, and she said, I wonder what it would be like. So she's curious about more time. As far as doing things that hadn't been done before, yeah, she hadn't spent the night with me before now, but she's spending the night, and she's doing spectacularly, in their own words, in school, which is parallel to parenting time. Luz does great. Now that we have more parenting time, the vacations went great on our end. Anything else she expressed in there was, of conflict. Again, I agree. I don't like conflict. That's why a clear court order schedule matters. And, so as far as, my home, it says it was cool and chill, and I don't yell or get mad at her, and she said ever. This isn't about safety. Again, reducing anxiety and conflict. The environment with me is calm and predictable. Structured summer schedule allows her to spend extended time in that environment without distress. The communication boundaries, you saw those text messages there?
I just realized now that they're they're talking between each other. You heard those other voices. That's the baby mama and her attorney. They're like talking. I no lie, like I haven't heard this. This is fresh. This is completely fresh. I have not even heard the audio. I'm hearing it for the first time right now, when I just found out right now that the baby mama and the attorney, they're like talking amongst themselves right now. So yeah. So this is how transparent, how legit, how how truthful I am putting myself out for you guys. Like, I'm just hearing this now because I was just so excited. I got the audio that I'm putting this out now, and I haven't even heard it myself. So here it is. I'm hearing it like right along with you guys for the first time. So I'm going to go back to hit and play. Here we go.
That's just some of it. I have more. Also, this interference happens during my normal parenting time and the interrogation. I have a lot of that. So again, this isn't cutting off contact, it's just limiting it. And it's fine if Luz initiates more, perfectly fine. And as far as travel logistics, obviously notice of dates, location, emergency contact, exchange documents. It's easy, it's simple, it's having it down, so that way this is what it is, there's no ambiguity. Avoids last-minute disputes, prevents unnecessary loss of hotel, flights, reservations. This is a low-risk temporary schedule. That's it, formalizes what has already worked. She already spent this time with me. We went to Mexico twice. She had the time of her life. And so I'm happy to negotiate if there's room around it, if there's a reason why a different amount would be better.
Okay.
Very well said.
So you basically today, week on, week off for the summer with exchange on Wednesdays, pre-approved travel, whether in state or out of state, as long as you give an itinerary to the other parent, and you're fine with the child initiating contact to the other parent as freely as she wishes.
Both ways going forward.
Okay.
Also, and since she already asked for a specific time, if we need to move the weeks as to when we start and end, so that way the time that she requested can fall into the week that she requested, so we don't just say starting at the end of school and then it doesn't fall under the time that she requested. So at because I don't want last minute cancellations. I don't want, it's just, I don't feel comfortable.
Okay, all right, thank you, Mr. Quintero. Mr. Wintery, does your client have an interest in giving it a try during summer break? To go to week on, week off?
Well, that, if we don't care what the kid said in the interview, I guess it's something we should talk about. But, well, he claims she wasn't asked about.
If we don't care what the kid said during the interview. Oh man. That's all they have. That's all they have. Check this out. Only because I remember, I haven't heard the audio yet. Only because I remember how this went is why I know this is so hilarious.
Summer, she was specifically asked about parenting time. She said she wanted Sunday night overnights with dad to take her to school on Monday morning. We're good with that. That's specifically what she asked for. When she was asked about the rest of the week, she said she likes being with mom during the week because she loves her mom. That's the information we have. We don't have anything where this child has suggested she's ready to do straight weeks with her dad. And if I missed it, I read it 3 times to see it and checked again after hearing Mr. Quintero's claim. So I think if we're going to interview the child, we ought to do her the courtesy of listening to her. The big concern were all these claims that the child was being coached. She doesn't, and it's clear she was not coached.
This is hilarious. Check this out. I'm going to bring this up in trial. So they're bringing up the argument that in the beginning of the interview, when when my daughter was asked, like, oh, did your mom and dad tell you anything about what's happening today? And she's like, no. But later on in the interview, she spilled her guts about what her mom was telling her. So I'm going to destroy them at trial. It's so hilarious to me. No lie. All right.
So all the things that we did that led up to this, all the litigation, completely unfounded based on what the child said. She loves her dad. She asked for more time. My client in this mediation that you ordered.
I love it when they don't realize the things that they say. She loves her dad. She asked for more time. These are some of the things that I pick up. I've been in court so long and so many times that I pick up when they make mistakes because I never say these things. I'm very careful. What's odd to me is that this guy's an attorney. It's hilarious to me.
Offered up exactly what Lou's asked for. Wednesday nights, Sunday night, dad takes the kiddo to school on Monday morning. He refused that. So he's telling you that he can't tell us dates for vacation because he doesn't want cancellation. So this is what has happened all the time. Mr. Quintero says,
I'm sorry, I can't hold it in.
If he would give us his proposed dates, we could make an agreement, then he wouldn't have to worry about cancellations. Instead, he refuses to provide his dates and says the reason he won't is that he doesn't want cancellations. That's the catch-22. We can't move forward. If he would just give us the dates that he says, then we can have a review of it, make a plan, and agree, or not, and let you decide.
I'm sorry, I'm crying because it's so hilarious. When you learn to hear these things and these arguments the way I do, like you see them for what they are. All right. So he's basically saying he wants it to be left up to them. Right? That's what he's saying. This is what the child is saying. It needs to be left up to us. He can tell us. What did I already mention in my opening argument? See if you guys caught it. I already made my opening argument. What did I say in my opening argument? They're saying, If he has times and dates in place, he can let us know. But what did I already say in my opening argument? I'll give you 5 seconds.
I do need to clarify. We have a trial in May over summer parenting time. Is that what I understand?
No, the trial in May is on the underlying petition to modify
For summer?
legal decision-making and parenting time altogether.
He doesn't know what he's there for.
Temporary order, as I read it, is just to make temporary orders for what we're doing in the summer in the event that in the trial I'm not able to give you a ruling that minute as the trial concludes. I think that Mr. Quintero, for today's purposes and leading up to trial, wants to get something in place just for summer.
Okay, well then it would have made sense, and it makes sense now, for him to give us proposed dates that he wants for summer. Lose back and forth tries in his special way.
I'm so sorry. I'm just hearing this for the first time. It's fucking funny because he's so sloppy.
Ignores the fact that Luz was nervous before the trip. Thankfully, the trip worked out great, which is
He just admitted that our trip went great. He's just making me look good.
why we've said if we can just ease into this and let him earn his daughter's trust, this is going to move forward the way it ought.
He just contradicted himself. He said the trip went great. And then he's saying she should earn my trust. This guy's so sloppy. I'm so sorry. Oh, please don't be annoyed with me. This is like one of the biggest spankings I've ever given. Here we go.
And that's what's happened. But he was pushing for Mexico before Luz was ready. She was concerned. My client documented in real time through communication apps that Luz was scared. So the process slowed down. There was some back and forth. Luz's concerns were addressed, and it resolved, and it was a good trip.
So everything he said prior to that didn't matter because the last thing he said was, it was a good trip. Oh my God.
So that's the success we have, is when we take it at Luz's pace, not Mr. Quintero's. You hear the indignation pouring out of him, and if he would just, as he likes to say, chill, give us the dates.
Again,
And
he's
let us
reiterating.
review them, let my client look at her plans, and then work this out. If we can't work it out, then you're the one who's going to make the call. But as we said here, the person who has the knowledge of when he wants to take the child is refusing to provide the information. So we are absolutely open to discussing summertime. Doing a blank week on, week off is a problem because it's the one thing the child says unequivocally. She's not ready for weeks, not with her mom.
Okay,
Yeah,
well, I'm getting yes, I'll hear from you in a minute, Mr. Quintero, but I wanted to make an observation.
The judge is not a dumbass. They might be biased and they abuse their discretion, but they're not stupid. These people are educated. So if they make a deliberate ruling, that is like far-fetched, it's not because they're stupid. It's because they're being biased or they're intentionally abusing their discretion. So you already pointed out all the nonsense from them that I just pointed out that I laughed at. The judge is calling that out right now.
I'm getting the sense that perhaps the child has some trepidation about the unknown or things that she hasn't experienced so far. So, for example, the trip in June, that was for a week. She was a little anxious, had some trepidation before it happened, but then it went great. I had the sense that in the child interview, they even commented that she seemed a little anxious or unsure when she arrived, but she kind of opened up as the process went on. So, what is there any interest in at least understanding there might be some trepidation about changing the schedule, accepting that she's resilient and that if there's no safety concerns with the dad is proven over the past year, having expanded time compared to what it had been in the past. Is there any interest in expanding just for the summer? So
I've asked Luz. First, I just want to clarify, she's never spent a week with him. Even when I tried to let her, she asked to come home early. So I do want to clarify that. And this is after the Mexico trip. She didn't want to stay with him longer. She wanted to come home. So I want to clarify that I've always been open to Luz spending time with her dad, extra time. I tell her that, I make it very clear. So she asked to come home. So I asked him if he would bring her home, and she did. So the longest she spent with him is 5 days, and that was that trip. I've asked her clearly during the summertime, do you want to do, because mommy's at work, do you want to do a week with daddy and then a week with mommy? And she does not want to do that. I do think part of the problem is she has a lot of friends in the neighborhood too. I think it's unknown. She's comfortable at my house. It's where her schedules are and stuff. But she's adamant that she doesn't want to do that. And it does bring her a lot of stress to even like talk about doing that. I am aware that it's something new to her. But that's, I believe, where his problem is. He just wants me to tell my daughter what to do and not to take her feelings into account. And I don't have that luxury because I live with my daughter every day. So I'm the one that she makes it clear in here that she doesn't freely talk to her dad. She freely talks to me, and she cries to me about things like this. And then I'm constantly the bad person because I have to make her go because there's a court order that says. So I asked permission if I could speak to you because these are what goes on in my house. He doesn't believe that I'm open to Luz spending more time, but clearly the trip to me allowing him to take her to Mexico and stuff is me showing that I am open to what my daughter wants to do. And I let her go twice to Mexico with him because that's what she said she wanted to do. I also respect the fact that when she wanted to come home, I asked him to bring her home. So he's upset that I did that and cut his week short. But Luz was crying on the phone and wanted to come home. So, I mean, it's a no-win for me in a way because he brings me to court if I do stuff, don't agree to what he says. So,
okay,
so I can't agree to a week on and a week off because Luz does not want to do that.
right, I understand. Okay, so there's no agreement to week on, week off. Let me throw out two other possible ideas in an attempt to maybe broker an agreement today. And of course, nobody's going to be forced to agree to anything today. This is just resolution management, trying to see if we can reach an agreement without having a contested hearing. So I'm thinking two alternative options today. Let's see if there's any interest. What if we went with Dad having let's say 4 day weekends, either 3 times a month or twice a month, and or a specific agreement on vacation times. Like if we can pin down a specific time during summer break that Dad can carve out to plan
Absolutely.
a couple vacations.
Absolutely.
2, 3, 5 to 7 days vacations over the summer.
So if we can get the calendar that he has in mind, building in, 5 days, we know 5 days will work. If he
So their position is they were only willing to allow one overnight. I'm looking at the clock on this thing. What's it look like? 18 minutes in. 18 minutes in. 17 minutes when they've conceded 4 days already. I haven't said shit other than my opening statement. I said my opening statement. Baby mama spoke. And I haven't spoken yet. Judge says, well, let's do 4 days, 5 days, whatever. And the first thing they already conceded was 4.
He wants to put in 7 days. Just tell us what 7 days. We will not sit on it. If he'll provide that to us, we'll provide a response in 3 days. We can do it a little quicker if we need to, but I would think 3 days would be, and we'll yay, nay, or here's our alternative. And on the specific, and the idea.
So the problem with having an attorney is that the baby mama didn't even want that. She was only willing to concede the overnight, the just one overnight. But the thing is, because she has an attorney, he immediately conceded 4 days. And that's your problem with having an attorney. He didn't consult her. He just, okay, we'll do that. We'll do that. And he could ask us which days and whatnot. He just screwed her.
During the summer, providing more extended days makes sense also. But since vacation seems to be the big issue, it'd be helpful if we could focus on that. Mr. Quintero will identify the vacation days during summer, which starts May, the 1st of May, that he has in mind.
He said the 1st of May. She gets out of school like at the end of May, like on the 20th? Something like that. He doesn't even know what the hell he's saying. This guy's so sloppy.
We'll give a response within 3 days. Again, detailed itineraries can come 2 days before the travel, but we need the days that he has in mind now.
All right, so Mr. Quintero, back to you. You're certainly welcome to respond to what the other side just presented. But secondly, since they're not agreeing to week on, week off, is there any other alternative proposal for summer that you think would work?
I just want to make clear, I haven't spoken in 20 minutes. They went into this thing only allowing one evening. I went into this thing looking for 7 days. I haven't spoken in 20 minutes other than my opening argument, and they've already conceded 4 days and possibly 7.
For temporary orders.
Well, them stating that what we need is days, if he had told us the days, then we would have it down. I was November 23rd, they haven't responded at all to it, so that's ambiguity, right? And then again, it gets to arbitrarily choose, because they could just say, no, we won't, and then what? What do I file again, temporary orders again? What are we doing? We need now set up, this is what it's gonna be these 5 days, whether I take the vacation or not, doesn't matter, we have the days. As far as the 7 days, she already approved that. The only reason why I came home is because she asked. Luce never said that she wanted to come home. There's no evidence that exists. I requested a production of documents for them to be like, okay, produce it. Produce proof that Luce wanted to come home early. What I did was give Miss Hadley the benefit of the doubt. And I came back a couple days early. She approved the 7th. Luce didn't want to come home. She never expressed to me. Luce's phone calls were Miss Hadley. Truth to God, I swear. Okay. Yeah. I'm fine.
What are we doing,
Okay.
Judge?
Bye. She was annoyed with so much interference.
that was me basically showing how when the baby mama would call my daughter, like during the trip, she called her like so many times wanting to talk to her. And like, she was so annoyed. She was so annoyed. She wanted to get off the phone fast because she kept bugging her and bugging her and bugging her. And she was just like, okay, can I go now? She was so annoyed. So annoyed.
Constantly. Yeah, and I'm sorry to have to like show that graphic, you know, I'm supposed to be more professional than that. I'm not an attorney. I only know what happened. You know, and these were the phone calls that Luz was, I mean, did you see how many there were? It was, they said that the vacation was great. Yeah, that took 57 texts and 12 calls plus the 20 leading up to it because there was ambiguity. There was, sure, let us know and we'll let you know within 3 days. If we're gonna do the 5, so be it. I'll rather take that instead of, you know, the 2 days because traveling to where, you know, I wanna go to California, I wanna go to Mexico, I'm gonna eat a whole day just in travel. So if we have to do the 5, that's fine. I just heard no cause or reason as to why 5 versus 7. We already did 7. And again, if Luce expresses to me she does want to come home, I would definitely listen to Luce. And I listened to Miss Happy. I gave her the benefit of the doubt. She said, he brought her back early. Yeah, because she said. Not because Luce said, but because she said. Oh, and also, child preferences are influenced by adult context, which is why preferences can inform, but not govern parenting structure.
Ooh, that's right. You know what I brought up right there? Just right there. Child preferences. Where is it where I wrote it down? I wrote it down somewhere. Basically, I was pointing out just there that child preferences. Let's go back. Let's go back. Let's go back. Listen to what I said there.
Yeah, because she said. Not because Luce said, but because she said. Oh, and also, child preferences are influenced by adult context, which is why preferences can inform, but not govern parenting structure. It is only one part. Child wishes are one factor of 25403. Luce doesn't decide if she feels like going to school or not, right?
There it is. So child preferences can be influenced by a parent, right? Which is why a child's wishes is only one of the best interest factors of the 12, right? And that's for Arizona, but in other states there's at least 10. And I know because I've talked to other guys in different states, there's at least 10 usually the best interest factors, right? So a child's wishes is only one. And why isn't it the most important? Because of what I just said. It's not like a child can decide whether or not they feel like going to school. Is your second grade, child gonna say, I don't feel like going to school today. I hate school. I'm not gonna go to school. And what are you gonna do? Not take them to school? Hell no. You're going to take them to school. Hell yes you are. Hell yes you are. You're going to take them to school.
In structure, it is only one part. Child wishes are one factor of 25403. Luce doesn't decide if she feels like going to school or not, right? So I think we can, if it has to be 5, then so be it. I haven't heard causes or reason as to why 5 versus 7, but I'll take it. But I would like it laid out. Starting this day, 5, or whatever it may be, or if it's 7, again, if Luce actually has an issue and says, Daddy, I want to come home early, you know what? I'll text her and be like, hey, Luce says she wants to come home early. I lose nothing. I lose nothing by making Luce happy.
So did you want to make,
I lose nothing by making Luce happy.
Mm-hmm. You heard that? So, I lose nothing but making Luz happy.
Nothing. I lose nothing by making Luce happy.
So did you want to make a proposal with specific dates right now to see if we can get something in place rather than having to come back for a contested hearing on temporary orders?
Okay,
For
if,
example, you had mentioned Miss Hadley gave you an idea of wanting to plan a vacation for herself and the child in
Yeah.
June. So do you have some specific dates you'd like to put out there that you want carved out for you for
Alright.
summer?
All right, so, we could also do, like, let's say, starting like the first Wednesday when she gets out of school, like, let's say if they wanna entertain this 5 thing, how about we do, every other of those? We do 5 first, you know, like, let's say Wednesday to Sunday, right? And then she has her, you know, those 1-2 days, and I have her the Wednesday, 4 to 7, and then she has her for the week, and then I have her for 7 days, Wednesday to Wednesday, and then she has her, for the following 7 days, and then I have it Wednesday to Monday morning, and then also the Wednesday 4 to 7, and then she has it for that whole week, and then I get her Wednesday to Wednesday, so we do a 5 on, 7 on, so 5 her time, 7, 5 her, which I guess that makes that, in between the day and a half, and then the Wednesday 4 to 6. But see, what are we doing again? More exchanges, more exchanges. I mean, this is easy. Wednesday, one exchange, following Wednesday, another. We see each other 8 times. So, that's it. But I can go with this 5 and 7 if you wanna start doing math. This is, what I'm adding additionally. We could do that. Now, I don't, I have to check and see when her dates fall, so we can make sure that it lands on that, once she requested already. That's all, but I didn't specifically schedule anything because of ambiguity.
Well, you didn't propose it.
Okay, well, let me, take what Mr. Quintero just proposed as a springboard. Would there be any interest in considering a 5225? So meaning one parent has 2 specific days every week, the other parent has 2 specific days every week, and then you'd alternate weekends. That way the child wouldn't go a full week without her mom, but she could have up to 5 days.
They already said they were.
All right. I'm going to pause it there and we'll continue on to the next video because we're going on like 37 minutes. All right, here we go.